I made a video for basic knitting, how to start, and just a basic knit stitch and a basic purl stitch, and also how to cast on and bind off. My last video, I shared it on Facebook, and my friend Cindy, hi Cindy, she asked me how to knit because she's always wanted to and she just never tried. I learned how to knit watching YouTube videos, just like this one. I'm going to link a few down below that I used to start learning how to knit. Self-taught, taught myself through YouTube on this platform. That's all I did. Let me start this video. Stop. Stop. Okay. I'm going to try to sync this up between y'all, and this. I'm not knowing where to look. I'm looking at a weird spot. Okay, sorry. I'll get used to it. Promise. Okay, but I'm going to be looking down because I'm going to cut in between the two videos. Okay, first thing that I did, I got out some of my darn good yarn, silk yarn. I love this stuff. It's super soft. Can't remember what the name of this is. I will put a link somewhere on the screen. The name of this yarn, because it's really great. I love this. It's like a storm or something. Stormy weather. I'll put it on the screen. But stick it in my yarn bowl. Keep it from rolling around. Okay, first thing you need to do is make a simple slip knot. I'm going to go real slow on this so you can see it. Oh, my stomach just made a noise. Did y'all hear that? Okay, take a slip knot and put it on your needle. There you go. Simple. Okay, now my tension's always weird when I'm casting on, so I try to do the same thing every time. Just wrap it around your finger there and over your thumb and your index finger. Go under that. Boop. Simple loop. I'm not sure what this is called. I think it's called a loop. Cast on? I don't know. Oh, I got this setup. It's so weird. But I'm putting a pretty background on here. Okay, so cast on as many as your pattern calls for, or if you're like me, when I'm making like scarves and stuff, I just sort of wing it. There goes my stomach again. I swear to God, I'm not hungry. There goes my stomach again. Okay, I always lose count when I'm doing this because you'll see in a minute I'm going to go super fast when I start casting these on good. And I always lose count, and then I have to, whoop. And yeah, when you try to go too fast, sometimes you miss the stitch. Oh, see how many times I can miss the stitch when I'm trying to cast that on. I'll know when I go to edit this. But my pretty little mock turtleneck, I wore this yesterday. And when I put this on for another video, which I will link below, go check it out. I don't think I'll put the, oh wait, where am I at? Right there, up in the corner. I'll link to the video. Okay, so I have to count it again. Because I always lose count. I'm a very awkward knitter. So here I'm counting, I think I cast on 30 stitches. Yeah, I'm pretty. Good Lord, my stomach is making noises. I'm sorry. You'll just have to deal with it. I'm not hungry. You know what? Look how fluffy my hair is too. Okay, so once you get them all on, get your tension right on your left hand. This is how I do it. There's different ways to hold your yarn, different ways to do this. Now, once you get your tension right and holding it properly, I like to hold the first stitch that's on the needle with my middle finger to keep them from sliding off because I drop stitches so easy. So I hold my knitting needle a little strange. So you go in underneath, and the first row is always hard. You go in under, you grab your yarn, and then you pull that one stitch off. Now you got one stitch on your right needle and 29 on your left. Now, when I first started learning how to knit, see, I went under and I grab it around like that. The way I hold my yarn, it's easy to grab and it's easy to go pretty fast once you learn how to do it and just get used to doing it. It can go pretty fast. So I'm going under. Now, when I learned how to knit, this is so funny. I taught myself how to knit because I was making teddy bears, artist teddy bears, and I really need to start making those again because I love doing them. Anyways, I looked up how to knit because I wanted to knit a teddy bear a sweater. It was really cute. However, the YouTube video that I learned how to do it was not real close up like this one is. It's one reason why I wanted, there's so many good videos out there to show you how to start knitting, just basic knit stitches and how to cast on, but I wanted to make my own. So here you go. When I first started knitting, I started knitting that teddy bear sweater. As you see here, you go from the left side of that loop through it, and then grab the yarn and pull that yarn through. Pull it through, man. Pull it through. There you go. And pull it off. I did not realize, because I guess the video was sort of not real close, or maybe just not well informative. I was going in from the right instead of from the left when I was grabbing that, which is considered in through the back instead of in through the front. The left side of that stitch is the front, and the right side of that stitch is the back. Didn't know that. So it was hard to tell, and I knit that entire tiny little teddy bear sweater knitting through the back, and it was really tight. It was really tiny. It makes a really tight stitch, especially when you don't know what you're doing and you're not sure how to get your tension right. And it was just excruciating to learn how to knit like that. But I did it. I learned how to knit. I knit the whole thing with a knit stitch, which when you're going the right side and wrong side on a piece. Oh, focus. Focus. Oh, there you go. I'm just showing you again how to pull that through from the left side of the loop, which is the front, and pull it through and pull off. Okay, let's do it really fast, because I found my hyperlapse on my camera. So we're going really fast with the hyperlapse. When you knit both the right side and the wrong side of a piece, that is called a garter stitch. It is the simplest stitch to do. I actually don't like the look of it, but it makes really simple scarves easy to make. So just doing the one stitch. Okay, so now I'm at the end of my first row, and normally I count again, and I didn't count it this time. Should have counted. So you turn it really easy. Now we're going through again, left side of the stitch, and grab it. Sometimes it's hard to grab. Since I'm just showing you how to do this, there is a way to make the edges, especially if it's just a flat piece, just a flat piece, to make the edges look really neat. I'm an awkward knitter. I'm just, oh, spit it up again. This is fun. I learned how to do really neat edges from a YouTube video. Again, if I find it, I'll link it below. I may pin it on the comment. Oh, I'm into the the row again. But for this demonstration, I didn't do it. I keep forgetting to do it because a lot of my projects I make, I don't really need the edges to be perfect because I will whip sew them together or something. Maybe I should zoom through this because this is a really long video. Okay, let me see if I can zoom through this a little bit. Whee! Okay, so somewhere, let's pause it. Around 10 minutes and 16 seconds into, oh, my nose is itching. Why does my nose always itch when I'm videotaping? Still recording. That's what you youngsters call this, recording. Not videotaping, because this is no tape. It's not on video, it's on my phone. I'm doing this on my phone. Okay. Oh, my nose. Okay, I used my James Charles Morphe palette today for my okay. I am fixing to show you how to purl stitch. Oh, my foot's going to sleep. Got my nose again. Okay, I'm going to knit this first stitch on here. And to purl stitch, basically, there you go. You pull it to the front, and then you go right to left and pull it through. Purl stitching, once you get your hands just right, to me is actually a lot easier to do. It can be a lot faster. See, oh, see? Okay, you go from right to left and pull that yarn through. Now, see, I have to, oh, my nose. Just make sure that the yarn is on the front. Right there when I have my finger pulled down, that's when I can go really fast. Don't know if I did a hyperlapse on this part or not. Seems really weird talking and looking down, but I'm gonna put a video on top of this, so maybe you won't see me looking down that much. I know you'll be seeing me looking at the wrong part of the camera. Okay, so I'm going to purl a little bit. I'm going to zoom ahead. Do you see? It's just basically like the knit stitch. You're going from the right to the left with the yarn in the front, with your working yarn in the front. And if you think about it really hard, it's the same as the knit stitch, but the back side of it. So if you knit a row, and when you turn your work and you purl a row, you will get what's called a stockinette stitch, which is what, if you look at sweaters that you buy in the store, it's got that neat little, I don't know, V pattern? Oh, my stomach! Neat little V pattern. That's a stockinette stitch, and I like that better on everything. But it looks sort of funny on a scarf, because it makes it bumpy on the back. It makes a weird pattern on the back. So I'm going back and knitting. I'm going to knit a little bit here, and then I'm going to show you how to bind off. Anyways, if you knit a row on the right side, purl a row on the wrong side, there's different ways you can make sure which side of the work you're on. That gives you the stockinette stitch. Now, if you're just going to do a simple scarf, like I said before, just knit every row. You'll make a garter stitch, which is fine for a scarf. Looks really nice. All right, I did a hyperlapse of me. I love this little hyperlapse that I found on my phone. I didn't know it was there before. I think maybe when I did my upgrade last week, I think maybe it added it to it. I don't know, but I like it. What's the deal with my stomach? Okay. Let me stop that. Let's bind off. Oops. First, let me show off what I've done. There's a knit saver I stuck to the end of the needle. Those are handy. Okay, if you will look, the last 4 rows I knitted, that's what the stockinette looks like on the right side. And below that is the garter stitch. I know I should have. Okay, there's the back of the stockinette stitch. See, this, you know, it looks okay. Sort of looks like, it's hard to tell on the back side of the garter part at the bottom there because it sort of looks like the rest of it. But it makes sort of, the garter stitch sort of makes a raised row and then an indented row, raised row, and indented, so you can sort of see it right here. But I like the stockinette stitch better for projects that are not scarves. I will make a scarf in a stockinette stitch, but sort of a pain in the butt. If you want to make a really fast scarf, just do the garter stitch. Just do it. Just slap that thing together. It's for you, isn't it? Who cares if it's perfect? Make that son of a gun. All right, showing it off a little more. Let me zoom to, I think I'm going to bind off right here. Take off my little knit saver. Needle stop. I don't know. Oh yeah, just then I put my tension. I normally wrap around 2 fingers for my tension instead of just 1. Most people just wrap it around 1, so I do 2. Okay, make a knit stitch. Make a second knit stitch. Now you're going to take that first knit stitch and pull it over the second one, leaving, oh, get over there. Sometimes it's hard. Leaving the second stitch on the needle. Okay, you're going to knit another one. Then pull that first one on the needle over the new one. And boom, there you go. Now you only have one. When you're binding off, this is a simple bind off. There's other bind offs. This one, it's actually pretty easy to do, and I'll show you what it looks like when it's done. But it's real simple to do, and you can go really fast once you get the hang of it. Just like anything, once you learn how to do it, once you get that skill set, do it real fast. You can do it pretty fast. So you knit a stitch, knit a second one, take the first stitch over the second one and pull it off. Here we go. Let's do it one more time. Still don't know where I'm looking when I look at the camera. I'm going to throw some music on the background. Maybe it'll cover up stomach noises because the stomach says I'm hungry. Oh, time lapse. Let's do a time lapse of the binding off. Whee! I love this time lapse. Time warp. Hyperspeed. Oh! What happened to my... Hello? What happened to my video? Is that all of it? Oh, there we go. I don't know what happened there. Oh, I dropped both of them. If you're... I went a little too fast and dropped them. Boy, that music better be covering up my stomach noises. Let's do another time lapse. Whee! There's only 30 stitches on it, but it took forever to bind it off. Because I was videotaping, I was like holding over, I couldn't see because I had the camera right in my face, and sometimes I was looking at the camera instead of my hand. So this is amazing footage that you're watching, because it was really hard to do with the camera on a tiny little tripod gorilla thing. Oh, this one. It was on this, I think, or did I have it on my other one? I don't know, but it was in my face and it was in my way. All right, so you bind off, just like, oh, we're all the way at the end of it. Get that last stitch over. Oh! Now, you got 1 stitch left on your right side of right needle. What are you gonna do? Well, you hang on to it. You take your long tail. Sometimes if you do a really long tail, if you're going to weave it in good, or if you're going to stitch another, tie it off, or cut it off, and then tie it off. Just pull that little little tail through there, which was not apparently easy with the camera in the way, and pull it tight. There you go. Now, once you're done with your project, you'll have tails on each end of your piece. Just weave that in. Okay, so there's my little finished piece. Yeah, I speak Texan. Okay, there's my finished piece. There's a stockinette at the top and the garter at the bottom. And you can do a lot with that once you learn those. Make a bunch of squares. Just make a bunch of squares. Oh, here's a good tip. Here, let me stop my video. Here's a good tip. When you're practicing, you're supposed to, when you do any new project, you're supposed to make a swatch. Like a, I don't know what they say, 4x4, 6x6. Make a swatch to see what your tension's going to be like. Yeah, that's good. Oh, my foot's going to sleep. Okay. Make a swatch, 4x4. I still don't know where I'm looking at. 4x4, 6x6, 10x10. So you can gauge your tension, because a lot of people, when you're looking at these patterns, it'll say 6 stitches per inch, something like that. But if you knit really tight, you may have 8 to 10 in that inch, even using the same needle gauge as someone else. So you're always supposed to do a swatch. But here's a great tip. Every time you get a new yarn, and you know you got a pattern that you want to use, like, I don't know, US 8 needle, which I use a lot, make a swatch. 10x10, 6x6, 4x4, whatever. If you make a bunch of those every time you start a project, sooner or later you're going to have a big bag of swatches, which I do somewhere. You can knit those all together and make yourself a scrappy little blanket. And it's really nice because you got different fabrics, you got different feelings on it. You can figure it out. It's really cute. I need to finish that blanket. I wonder what I did with it. Oh, maybe I will find it and make a video of it when I'm finishing it. Okay, give me a thumbs up if you like this video. Cindy, if you're watching this, you better thumb this up because I made this just for you. Rewind it, learn how to do those stitches. Maybe my video is good enough and close enough that you can see how to do it better than I first learned how to do it. But give me a thumbs up if you like this video. Don't forget to subscribe. Hit that little bell button so you can get a notification when I upload another video. And I will see you next time. Oh, I will probably see you tomorrow or later on tonight. Don't know yet, because my darn good yarn April box is supposed to be here today. It's the 25th of April as I am recording this, and it should have been here weeks ago. Because when I first signed up for Darn Good Yarn, I got my boxes like within a week after they charged me. It's been 25 days since they charged me. It's the end of the month. Subscribe. Click that little bell so you get notified when I upload that video.